This is the Garden City Ethanol Company. Located in the outskirts of town north of Garden City, GCEC, as the locals call it, employs just under 100 people across 3 shifts, resulting in 24 hours a day operations. GCEC has their own locomotive, a GP35 purchased from a short line years ago. Known officially as GCEC number 763, the number boards are actually blank. The employees refer to it simply as Red. Many employees are certified on Red, and it's considered a privilege if you are selected to operate Red during your shift. GCEC and BNSF have a unique relationship in that GCEC will coordinate with BNSF dispatch, set out cars that the BNSF local will then service for the area. This allows Red to load, unload, and switch cars while maintaining minimal disruption to the mile-long passing siding, serves as the entry point to the plant. In general, Red loads, unloads, and sets out during a 2-hour period in the very early hours of the day, and then again in the afternoon. Let's follow Red as the crew carries out their duties in the early hours of the day. The passing intermodal represents the last train that will be seen through here for the next several hours. Red gets a head start by loading empty tank cars one by one, and once all of the tank cars have been loaded, pulling them out into the passing siding. Red then backs that cut of tank cars to the corn unloading shed. The tank cars are coupled to the covered hoppers, and each covered hopper is unloaded one by one. After all of the covered hoppers have been unloaded, Red takes the full string of cars out into the siding. The siding is about a mile long, and Red continues to bring the train south until it reaches the Garden City Lumber Yard. Once Red reaches the Garden City Lumber Yard, the crew stops the train. Red is uncoupled from the cut of cars and prepared to enter the lumber yard. Crew throws a series of switches so that Red can enter the lumber yard. Waiting there is an empty center beam that's been unloaded by the lumber yard staff throughout the course of the day. In a matter of hours, it will be replaced by a full center beam, ready for the same routine again. Red returns to the siding with the center beam and carefully backs it to meet with the rest of the train. Once the center beam is coupled to the rest of the cars from the plant, Red uncouples and prepares to make a runaround using the main line. This is one of the few times that Red is allowed out on the main. Red has made it to the other end of the siding and needs to get back onto the siding in order to clear the main. Once Red reaches the lead tracks for the plant, a switch must be thrown and Red can proceed into the tracks. This is where Red will wait for the local to arrive. About an hour later, the local arrives. This local goes from Garden City to Newton and serves most of the industries along the way. Locomotives are uncoupled from their manifest so that they can back onto the siding and pick up the cars that Red has set out. The cut of empty hoppers, full tank cars, and an empty center beam are pulled onto the main. The empty hoppers, full tank cars, and empty center beam are coupled to empty tank cars, full hoppers, and a full center beam. These will be shoved into the passing siding so that Red can deliver them to their final destination. Once in place, Red's cut and the local's cut are uncoupled from each other, and Red's cut is pulled away. Red's cut is then shoved on the main to reach the rest of the local. The local then departs for Dighton, which is the next stop on the line. Once the local has cleared the main, Red pulls out of the plant tracks to begin the work of putting all those cars where they belong. Red leaves the plant tracks, a switch is thrown, and then Red proceeds on the passing siding. Red again uses the main to run around the cut of cars left by the local. Once on the other side, Red re-enters the passing siding. The first job is to push this loaded center beam into Garden City Lumberyard. Red then pushes the cut of loaded hoppers to the unloading track. And Red's final move for the morning is to shove the empty tank cars to the loading track. This is where Red will stay, idling for the remainder of the morning. Several trains will pass by during this time, and Red just waits for its opportunity to get back out on the tracks again. As a through freight disappears into the night, Red's crew calls it a day. Their shift is over, they get to go home, come back tomorrow and do it all again. Just another day on the Dighton sub of the BNSF. I thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.